And back again. Okay, so last video seems to have managed to get off with only mild lag issues. Obviously, I'm desperately in need of a better computer to keep doing good Let's Plays, but, you know, I make do with what I have, and I do quite well with making do with what I have. Shut up, I know English better than me. Anyway, getting back to the game where we left off. It's a new day, and I'm just going to get back to slaughtering rabbits and setting up drying meat hooks and all. Let's work on getting our higher tier cooking availability today. And that means farms, and that also means, well, a crock pot. Crock pot is a great item. It lets you, not item, great station. You put 3 different kinds of food in there, and it cooks them all together and gives you one in response. There are some kinds of foods like seeds, which can't be put in there. Generally, the game divides things up: vegetables, meat with some negative effect, like monster meat, ordinary meat, which is great, and large meats are sometimes considered separate from ordinary meats, like rabbit meat. Bottom line, the game treats different items a little differently and plugs it into a recipe machine. Honey is given its own status. I have a couple of the good recipes memorized. That's one place where I felt like you kind of needed the wiki to play the game, because if you don't know how to make certain items, then you're kind of up shit creek, and having to play guess and check just seems anti the spirit of good game design. I don't know. I've got a very fair set of saplings here. However, one lightning bolt will destroy them all. So I'm going to protect my investment by eventually making a lightning rod to protect me from lightning. At this point, all that will require is 1 more stone. There's a reason I went overboard with my stone mining, and it was this, so that I had enough for whatever I needed. Let's build that lightning rod. Generally protects in about a 2-screen radius, so building one here should be more than adequate for the entire base as it is. Let's leave a decent distance. I don't know, I don't want it in the middle of everything. What the fuck, let's leave it here, it's fine. Base protected. Crockpot open. My hunger status is actually getting notable. I'm at half used up. I do need to learn to make a spear at some point near soon. So, what's the next objective? Well, let's worry about more sources of food. As of now, all I have going for me is meat and rabbits, which is excellent, but let's try and expand that out a little bit. I also have 0 wood. This needs to be rectified. Nearest source of good wood is going to be... I guess there's a 5 cluster of trees southeast I can take on, eventually. What will it take to make a farm? Because farms are great. Improved farm will require more grass. That shouldn't be a problem. Make me a... I always go with improved because they actually produce food faster. So, farms. How do they work? Let's stick our farms further out to the right, just because I kind of am used to orienting my base that way. Farms. What you do is, you get a seed. Whenever you see a bird fly down, there's a reasonable chance a seed will be produced, as if they saw one. And if you interrupt them, then they'll tend to drop said seed for you. Or not, as the case may be. Actually, it's cheap enough to learn, so I'll make a razor while I'm at it. Take the seed, drop it in the farm, and you'll get the bud of a crop that indicates it's growing. If you drop more dung on it in fertilized position, so you gotta wait till it says fertilize, there you go. The crop grows a bit faster, and a bit faster. Now you got a crop. Oh crap, do you hear that? It sounds like a dog barking in the distance. Now you might hear it. It sounds like a roar. That means I'm about to get attacked by dogs. I have just a few moments to prepare myself for the attack. I don't have enough resources to make armor of any kind. I should have been focusing more on the date. Dogs tend to attack around this time. Well, I can't do anything to defend myself beyond the spear I already have. I'm going to head north towards where the pigs are. With any luck, the dogs will get attacked by the pigs. when the time comes. In the meantime, I'll just collect grass until they come. Oh my god, the growls. I'm scared of dogs at night. The scary time is coming soon. I'm well within the boundary of nightfall, so I don't have to worry about the Gru. I do have to worry about roving spiders. There it is. There's the dog. And sure enough, the pigs are gonna get in on the action, I think. Notice that I'm rotating the screen just to keep the perspective on everything. Yep, the dogs are attacking the pigs, and between the two of them, they should have a mutually assured destruction kind of scenario going here. I hope. In the meantime, I will pick off the spiders. Okay. This one's a bit insistent. I've only been hit once or twice. I think the dogs died. Yep, there's the tooth from where the hound died. I would like to pick it up if possible, but I'm much more scared of being beat up by these hyper-aggressive pigs, so let's get out of the way. Yay, I survived a dog attack! That was a pretty mild dog attack. They can be very vicious. Especially as the game goes on, they start sending greater and greater numbers. Do I have a torch? I do. Do I have an axe? I do. I'm going to show you guys a glitch, which I consider pretty pivotal to playing the game right. Let's go ahead and start chopping down the 5 cluster of trees. With any luck, I'll get through most of them before nightfall. Without any luck, I'll still get through them during nightfall, and you'll see how. So typically, you're only allowed to hold one item in your equip slot at a time. So that's going to be your axe, well and good. If it's not, then it's going to be your torch. Which means that you can't mine by light of torch, or chop trees by light of torch at night. Well, here's what I do. We'll see if it works, because it used to work, but they updated the game recently, so maybe it was a glitch and they don't want me to do it anymore. First things first, whip out your torch, then quickly right-click the axe, hit spacebar, and right-click again for the torch. And now, even though your axe is getting diminished in size, like it should, you're wielding the torch and using it like an axe. I'm fairly sure this is not the intended usage. I'm also fairly sure that it saves a lot of time to be able to chop things at night. Again, same concept. Now I'm chopping this tree. I have probably enough light. No, I'm gonna need to light something on fire in order to make it through the night. Shit. I'm gonna need to light a torch. That's all there is to it. Thought I was so clever I'd be able to make it through the night without spending any more resources. Because I have 2 twigs and 7 grass. I'm very low on both, actually. It's just hard for me to be concerned because at this point I've already succeeded in getting through the hardest phase of the game, the earliest days. Well, the hardest pre-winter. Winter is a whole new set of challenge. We're gonna pick up enough dung to make a second farm while hanging around the beefalo. I'm also going to take this opportunity to fill up on grass that I may not have picked yet, since it's more south of my main base. I like to have a series of farms going at any given time. Gotta be careful for the beefalo becoming aggressive. Yeah, generally they don't mind if you pick at their shit, but, you know, sometimes they don't know that that's all you're intending to do. La 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 la. No, no. See, this guy's trying to get to his rabbit hole. I'm not gonna let him. You'll see. He's edging towards it. Damn it, timing. Edging. No. Clever little rest. Got him. He has that moment where he dives towards you in an attempt to try and fake you out and get to his rabbit hole. If you read him perfectly, you can smack a rabbit and kill it without even needing a trap. It's very, very helpful to know this trick. It's also rather tricky to pull off, but not that tricky, just a little tricky. Okay. Edging, smack him, take his meat, run off. I think I have just about enough meat on hand now to do a really good recipe, something called meatballs, that should give me enough hunger status, or enough fullness status that I don't have to worry about hunger for a while. Got him. Okay, that's 3. My rope is now up to 25. Now, you'll notice that despite the fact that I know how to do this trick, I still build a ton of rabbit traps. It's because it's like a long-term preserved source of meat. It costs all of grass and wood and twigs. I mean, that's pretty cheap. You know, it's free. It's what it is. I don't have enough manure for the second farm I wanted yet, so I need to keep gathering. But once I hit 6, I should be there. Yep, got enough. Let's finish picking some of this twine. And actually, at this point, am I... No, I still have my second stack of rocks. Okay. All those trees that I chopped down dropped a number of pine cones. I'm going to replant all these pine cones in a more accessible location relative to my base without getting in the way. So maybe here, by the edge of the clearing. I can't plant... There's no penalty whatsoever in planting them on grassland. I just want them to be a little bit spacey. So when these things grow into real trees, I'll have a nice, healthy mini forest to work with right by my base. Okay, we're getting to the point that hunger is actually an issue now. I have 35 food status, so let's make use of the crock pot. 1, 2, 3, and 1 monster meat. Monster meat punishes you by taking away your health if you eat it, but if you cook it with a sufficient quantity of non-harmful meat, it will remove the poison effect, or the negative health effect. And here we go. My first batch of saplings is in, and now you see that twigs are no longer an issue. I get tons of them. Hunger at 30. Yeah, that was a nice batch, full stack, and I no longer am low on either of these resources. Let's go and eat that meatball stack. 29 to 91. That's quite a jump. With the corn available nearby... Oh, to hell with you. I'm just gonna go with the trapped rabbit. Now I got you. 1 more trapped rabbit, which we will butcher, drop, harvest, drop the seed in there. Make that second farm I was talking about. Hey, thanks for the seed delivery. Just in time. Plant that too. Okay, we've got a couple of jerkies on the drying rack. Actually, we should make use of that. Let's go ahead and put a new piece of meat on the drying rack and eat the jerky, which helps by giving me 8 more health, which is nice, as well as, of course, hunger status. 3 kinds of meat and some kind of filler that isn't a twig should be enough to make me some more meatballs. Of course, these are the precious items that I don't need, so we'll drop those. What else could I do for food? Oh, bee boxes. Honey is great for making healing foods like honey ham and honey poultice. So it would be nice to get a renewable source of honey available. It's a bit more work, but I'm willing to do that now when I have the time. The time constraints I keep referring to, by the way, are winter related. In winter, it's much harder to travel like as freely as I'm doing now. The days are shorter, the nights are longer. Everything gets colder. Food is more scarce. Kinda sucks. Ooh! A suspicious footprint. This is gonna be the same animal we saw before, the koalaphant, which is equal to 8 chunks of high value meat. I'm clearly not in that much need of meat right now, though. But still, I wouldn't mind having his trunk for future use. And also, you'll notice the drying racks can make jerky. If you put koalaphant on there, the full heavy-duty meat, it becomes big jerky. And big jerky is better than little jerky. Unfortunately, on the black land, it's just my monitor, I guess, but I literally can't even see the tracks. So I wouldn't know if I was walking right past him. Wait, There we go. Inspect suspicious dirt piles somewhere here. Looks like the toes are pointing due west. So I'm probably just going to get to a place and then pitch a campfire for the night, and then continue looking in the morning. I don't have to follow him, I just want to. Actually, is there trees nearby that I can make use of to chop wood tonight? That would be ideal. At this point, it's kind of late to really care. Just throw down something anywhere and just get to work. I should really get a second-tier golden axe made pretty soon, just so that I can. With the Pig King available on the map, I can always convert meat into gold, so long-term gold stores aren't an issue, whereas flint, I have to go underground once the overground sources are scarce. Of course, overground flint being scarce happens very, very, very never. It's kind of like running out of remove curse scrolls from Crawl. Yes, theoretically it can happen, but by the time in the game that you're actually worried about it, you're probably already explored most of Pandemonium, and you can still go and get as many as you like from there. Okay, Koalefant tracks led to somewhere in this vicinity. Under the light of day, maybe the tracks have become stale, or maybe not. I went south from the pathway, so if there were Koalefant tracks, they'll be up here north somewhere. Nah, I got nothing. Think I lost him. Oh my god, the damn frog attacked me. And you'll notice that I took significant damage and I'm now being chased by an army thereof. Damn frogs. Come on. Knowing how to kite like that, dodge in and out, is kind of awesome in this game. You can get away with a lot of stuff if you know how to do that. Alright, well, if we've given up on the frog hunting, let's just finish chopping up these trees for a bit. We've got a good long day. I think the next priority on my menu should really be spider webs. It's good to get a nice regular source of spider webs. Spider webs can be used to make better clothing, the winter clothing in particular. Spider webs can be used to make the bee net, which you can then use to go on to make honey sources, which is always nice. And, yeah. The killing spiders repeatedly also drops monster meat and spider glands for healing. All around, it's a good thing to be harvesting some spiders every now and then. And most importantly, they make tents, which are my secret for surviving winter. For reasons I'll explain when winter is more imminent. Ah, shit, you see that yellow spider? He knows how to jump. It's kind of painful. I'm waiting for most of these ones to break off before I fight him again. I should explain a visual cue, which I will shortly. So, notice that one spider went into my net. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that was just a wabbit. Well, we'll kill the wabbit. See how there's a second hump on this? That means this is no longer a small spider mound, it is now a bigger spider mound. Bigger spider mounds can spawn more dangerous spiders, and, well, I guess that's it. And also can turn into a tier 3 spider mound, which is even more scary. I'm going to start dropping or little traps at the edge to catch spiders eventually. And that's called Tempting Fate. Those are weird pigs, man. Pigs aren't supposed to be that offended by your presence. These guys are just something else. Man, this area is rich with rabbits. Isn't it subtle? There's like so many of them. Normally I wouldn't actually be this rabbit heavy, but you know, they're just gonna make this many. I'm gonna make extra traps so that I have extras. And of course, freehand a few rabbits is always nice too. These bushes I'm gonna leave as a stored food source of extra berries. Let's go ahead and make myself another set of meatballs. Actually, I do need to heal a little bit too. Let's use a spider gland to help with my health status. Ditch all of these spider glands on the ground. I need to start a fire. I don't really care what with, so that I can cook the frog legs. Cooked frog legs do serve as a source of healing, if I recall correctly. Oh, only 1 point of healing, never mind. It's not nearly as good as I thought, but it's something. And that should be good for making another meatballs. Ooh, our crops have come back. I don't much care for the corn, but I think that's a good one, the pumpkin. I know it can make something interesting, I forget what. There we go! Hunger status is near full, health status leaves something to be desired. I think this calls for making some actual defense. Let's make the log suit. The log suit requires wood and a couple pieces of rope. And in all honesty, guys, this is the defense I use most of the game. It has to swap out the backpack, so, you know, I don't tend to leave it up. I kind of tend to put it on when I need it. But between the spear and the log suit, you can fight most of the bosses in the game fairly comfortably, actually. Let's go ahead and eat this jerky. And then replace it with a new rabbit jerky. Oh, I'm out of grass again. Let's head east. Pick up some more grass on the east side of this field. And all of the rabbits hurry for their holes since it's getting dusky. Every day is 8 minutes long. Every day-night cycle is 8 minutes long. You have exactly the same amount of time to make good and try and do something of worth. Keyword, of course, being try, because, you know, there's no guarantees what you manage to accomplish in that time. And in a sense, that's kind of the joy of this game, really, is that it is a survival game, and you are trying to make use of what resources come your way and know what you can get away with and what you can't to try and survive longer. I'm actually going to attempt to hunt the spiders again. The spider nest tends to rejuvenate every night and every day, so there's probably more spiders to hunt right now. It's going to be cutting it a little bit fine for getting back to my base, but we'll see how fine. Spears up. Definitely want to have my armor up, so I put on my log suit. And of course, since they're not all clustered inside their base, it was a little bit easier to pick them off. I don't want to destroy the actual base because I'm still making regular use of it as a farming point for spiders. Sure enough, I gathered a few more silk webs. I should have about 6 now. What does it cost to make a spear? Another rope? I definitely want that recipe, even if I don't need a spear right now. It's very important for me not to be without a weapon, so I'm going to hang on to it. Let's throw some charcoal in the fire. And while we're at it... Oh, that charcoal isn't going to last very long. Extend the fire a little bit. Should be a crockpot here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere around here. If I light more stuff on the fire will get bigger and will brighten a little bit longer. Good illumination system, as I mentioned in the previous vid. Alright, I have at this point explored the East Wing fairly thoroughly. I still have to go back to the mining area and go further southwest eventually, and when I'm comfortable, I need to go explore more of the map in general. I have found 2 of the required items for winning the game, but that's a far cry from all of them. That said, I'm not yet at the point where I'm done building my base up for winter preparedness. I'm going to go ahead and pick berries off all these bushes. They'll probably regrow before winter, and... Ooh. And even if I never need to eat them, just having berries lying around and turning into rot can be useful for mini fertilizer. Not something I need with all the beefalo to the south, but it's kind of an old habits die hard scenario right now. And the day comes with all of its glory. How are we doing for building stuff? If I had a lot more rope, I could make more stuff. If I had a little bit more dung, I could make another farm. Alright, here's the new plan. Let's get to work bringing honey to my base. To bring honey, I'm going to require honeybees and a box to contain them. That's going to mean I'm going to need wood, bees, and the honeycombs that make up their nests. At this point, my hunger status is great, my health status is reasonable. Let's ditch some of this stuff behind since I have replacements that are better, or at least as good. Hang on to my axe. Let's go ahead and throw up these acorns so they grow up by the time I'm back. Notice that the previous batch of acorns I planted has already blossomed into a mini forest. And I've got a stack of berries for hunger status. Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna head out with a net, obviously. Ooh, the grasslings are growing again. To get a net, we're gonna need the science machine, survival tools, should be one of these. Bug net will require a rope, shouldn't be a problem. Now we have the schematics to make a bug net. To make an actual bee box is going to require 4 bees, 2 wooden planks, and a honeycomb. So we should gather all of these respective items while we're out. We can probably gather more than 4 bees and a couple butterflies to help make new flowers. Best target for honeybees that we found so far, this is probably the nearest one. It's pretty isolated. This is a set, which is going to be harder to actually work, which is going to be more actually to work with. So we're going to head towards the closest one first, and then we'll see what happens. I have almost a full day ahead of me to do this task, and I have enough of a wood stack that I can light a fire anywhere. This is one of the most fun parts of the game, honestly, for me. The part where you are prospectively deciding what to do with your day, and making good with your plans. And of course, wherever I go, I'm collecting more and more of these key resources to bring back home. Alright, pardon me a moment, I just had a terrible fear. Okay, good. Sometimes I forget to turn on mic recording and it's kind of sad. Nope, turns out my fears were unfounded, I did my job right. Okay, there we go, there's a bee right now. Let's get the net and catch him. Of course that brings out the angry mob of bees. Go figure. With just one yellow bee, we're not going to have enough bees to make our own honeycomb, unfortunately. There's another one, though, and another one. So with any luck, we can make a grab for some of these guys. That's another. And another. And another. Okay, it looks like something broke. Yes, it looks like my net broke. Let's go ahead and whip up another. This is again part of the reason why I consider spiderwebs so vital. They form the core of so many of your survival tools without you even realizing they're doing it. Okay, make another run at the bees. Grab that one. Ow, that hurt. 6, 7, one more. 8, that's enough for 2 honeycombs. Dropping my backpack to put on the armor, putting in my spear. We've already drained this base of its retaliatory capacity, so now we're just going to bust it wide open. And grab the spoils. The honey itself is a bonus, but the honeycomb is what I really need to make a new honey nest somewhere else. We're just going to drop this razor that I made for no good reason. I can always make another. Okay, if I want to make 2 of these, I'm going to need another honey pot, as it were. So let's head due west in the direction of the honey hives that we've already found. Do I have a spare inventory slot? I can ditch the seed pretty easily. And I would like to continue gathering saplings and grass tufts and berry bushes and such, but I don't have that much inventory space to spare. I don't need more bees anymore. What I do need more of is butterflies, because bees really can't do a whole lot of honey production without flowers. And honey is the substance I really want them to be making. So I'm keeping my eye out for butterflies as I casually dig up half the terrain on the way there. Okay, before nightfall becomes too immense, let's equip my war stuffs, call out the defenders, and kill them one at a time, as best I can. And with armor on, I can actually get away with a lot of this aggro. Eat the honey. Eat the honey. Put on the backpack. Okay, we've got one more defender, but it's pretty isolated now. Okay, we've got 2 honeycombs, a nice stack of honey. Only lost about 10 health overall. I would call this a win. What we don't have are butterflies, but at this point it's getting pretty late. So we're going to have to find a place to spend the night. I say go northwest of here. There's a nice cluster of trees that we can knock at until morning. It's going to be a short night anyway, so it's all good. On our way back, we'll try and deplete our net's capability by getting more and more butterflies, and then we'll be done. So throw up a campfire. Oh, this is a beautiful spot for a campfire. I'll just dig all of the resources up before daybreak. Let's see now, we've got 6, 7 tufts. Let's get a couple more saplings on board. 8, 9. Let's ditch the stingers. I have 2 spears apparently, but no axes. Oh, there's my axe. Let's get to work on the trees. Technically built the fire a little bit early, but at the same time I couldn't have seen with my screen that dark, so don't really care. So yeah, it's easy for new players in this game especially to underestimate the value of armor. Armor is kind of awesome. If you get hit by 5 bees twice without armor, you are probably at less than a quarter of your health, even with this guy who has the biggest health bar in the game. If you, on the other hand, get hit by the same quantity of bees with armor on, you've probably taken a severe poking, but that's about the worst of it. Let's go ahead and cook some of these berries. It's going to give me 8 more points of health and a bunch more food value, which is kind of what I'm after. $187, 224, maxed. Hell, we'll just eat the last one too. Feeling peckish. Alrighty, what's that leave in the area? Just a few tree stumps, and that's about it. Off we go. Okay. Things that I would like to find but haven't found yet are spiders. We've got one rapidly becoming very big spider nest right by the base in a perfect location. That's it. Ideally, I want to find some a bit further away, like that one, which I don't mind killing and bringing and replanting near my base if it should drop another drop. It's generally a bad idea to kill the last of anything, and this is the one that I've already got is in such a great position I don't want to get rid of it yet. Where's my net? Let's keep my net equipped and keep my eye out for butterflies on the way back. I'm certain there will be some. I mean, there's all these flowers. Butterflies tend to live by flowers. Ooh! Here we go. It's a spider nest. It's a tier 2 spider nest, though. You can tell by the second bump. And I'm not quite in the mood to fight. Oh, hell, yes I am. I want more spider silk. I put on my armor, drop my backpack, and start a fight. 5 spiders is quite a few. I want them to break off the pursuit before I engage. Good. 4 spiders. Break off the pursuit. Okay, they're not gonna listen this time. I'm gonna have to do more. Oh, sweet! The big one came back. Which means he got 1 hit rather than several hits, and then the rest of them got pot shots. I don't think they even dealt enough damage to make up for the number of spider bladders they dropped, or spider glands they dropped. This is far enough away from my base that I don't intend to farm it, so I'm going to knock it down at tier 2 and hope that it gives me spider eggs, or at the very least a whole bunch of spider silk. Well, it did give me spider silk. Honestly, it wasn't worth it. Just for spider silk, not worth it, but sometimes they give you spider eggs. Tier 3 is, I think, guaranteed or close to guaranteed to give you spider eggs, which can be used to... There's the butterfly. There's the butterfly I wanted. Catch. Got him. And we'll put him in place of the seeds. Oh, there's another one. Catch. Got him. Keep the flower. Let's head southeast, back toward my base. Choppables. Oh! Catch. Caught. The more butterflies I have, the more rapidly they'll be able to pollinate and make better honey. Reserves. Oh! There's another one. There's a reason I stopped by... Ah! Damn it! Didn't mean to pick the flower. Now he won't respawn. Catch. Caught. There's a reason I picked that particular tree to hit. 1, it was big, and 2, it was right by a spawn bed for butterflies, apparently. Oh well. I do want a few more logs to my name, though at this point, frankly, my pockets are getting so full of stuff, I might be better served just walking back to my base. It's just that I already know that once I make the boards involved in making a bee box, it's going to deplete my spare source of my spare wood entirely. Let's catch the last one. Okay, now I don't have my net anymore, so I have 1 more inventory slot. Ooh. I almost didn't notice this despite walking over it 3 times. Koalefant tracks that lead northwest. I could potentially hunt him down, actually. It might not be a bad idea long term. Or hell, short term. Let's go. Because at this point I do have enough spider nets that I could start making winter clothing if I were able to catch this guy. Except this is kind of jackknifing in the opposite direction of my go home and drop all of my excess resources plan. If he went in this direction, where did he end up? There we go. Like a real tracker, it doesn't tell you where he went, it just tells you which direction he was walking. Which can be helpful, but... Also, the tracks will disappear with time, so... yeah, if you wait too long, the trail will get cold. That is a thing. Yes! He's so much easier to track on the bright grassy plains. Never stop gathering stuff while I go. Okay, I think the trail may have gotten a little bit lost here. Yeah, I certainly don't see where it goes next. Do I have a torch? I don't have a torch. Almost due west, with just a little bit of a hint of south. And by light of the torch, perhaps I shall see his next footprint. Alright, but he could have wandered in between, that's always a possibility. Where the hell did this guy go? Not seeing it. He may have wandered off in some other direction, I don't know. I still have at least another week until winter hits, so I don't have to worry about that warm clothes super urgently, but would have been nice to have all that extra meat. Let's head back towards the home base at this point, and we'll worry about these future things in the future. This torch is going to go out very soon, so I'm going to actually ditch it now, make myself a new torch, and that way I can just switch to it even though I'm out of inventory slots the moment nightfall hits. You'll notice that I'm pretty brazen about walking at night, despite the fact that you can die instantly in the darkness. And yeah, that's kind of true. I am a little bit brazen about it. I guess I'm so used to being worried about much more hardcore stuff like winter survival that this doesn't bug me as much. But when you're first starting the game, it is a good move to be much more afraid of the dark than I'm showing you right now. Okay, we are close to base. We're almost there. We're there. Drop some logs in the fire. Ditch the torch and start picking stuff up. In the morning, when I can see again, I'll make the bee boxes and replant all of the butterflies for flowers. Notice that my sanity meter has a massive black arrow indicating that I'm so deep in the dark that my sanity is dwindling rapidly. That's totally a thing. Totally happens. Let's drop a few more plants. And a few more. Come on, come on. Perhaps I'm a little bit too perfectionist-y about getting these spacings so tight. Okay, back to a science machine. Oh, of course, I need to have actual boards, which means converting my logs into it. And all of a sudden, I don't have a terribly large number of logs. In fact, I only have 4. But it all will all pay off when I have a couple bee boxes to my name. I like my bee boxes to be a very fair distance away from the base, because bees are irritating to deal with, even if they're not deadly. And we're just going to plant these flowers all around, just so that no matter which way the bees decide to go, they will find flowers. Okay, and now that I've learned the recipe, I can of course build more without having to go back to the science machine. Thank you for doing it right. So, second bee box. Here. In the future, I might make another net and just reharvest and replant the same butterflies here, so that I can extend my honey production facilities a little bit more. Okay, that's about enough for this run. I'm gonna stop here, and we'll pick this up again later. But hope you all are enjoying watching Don't Starve so far. We are at day 14, and finally my base has hit a certain level of stability. In fact, I'll show you one. I'll do one more thing before I leave, just to establish that point. With all of this honey I gathered up, we're gonna go honey, monster meat, and 2 times ordinary meat, I believe is the formula I need. So, cook, and slaughter, and oh, save, right, save, gotta save. Auto save, whatever. We'll throw up another trap while we're at it, just to thicken out the base a little bit. Cook. And this is the recipe to make one of the best healing items and food items you can regularly make in the game, called honey ham. Called honey ham. Now let me go pick some grass while I'm waiting. Always gotta be using that time, man. Always gotta be using that time. Not sure why I have a shovel here, but oh well. Called honey ham. Oh, there we go. And honey ham, 140, 115. Yeah, that. It gives, like, I can't do math in my head, so about 75 food, which is about as good as meatballs, and 30 health, which is like 4 or 5 spider glands all at once, or 4 pieces of jerky. It is a massive, massive heal. So that's why I'm so keen to have an easy source of honey available. Just for the heals, frankly, is enough. And if you don't have monster meat handy, you can go honey plus vegetable plus 2 meats to make a miniature version of honey ham, which heals for about 25. I forget what it's called. We'll find out shortly. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can use 3 rabbit meats plus honey to make honey ham. I'm not sure about that, though. Let's go that up. Where are you going? Here's my game glitched momentarily. That was weird. Let's go ahead and pick up all these saplings. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be playing one more day and then I'll stop. Sorry about that. I do want a second and a third crock pot just for more convenience while cooking. To do that, I will require what? More charcoal and more cut stone. I still have enough stone stores I can just produce cut stone, so let's go and get that charcoal. Yay! The trees that I planted have grown quite nicely. So let's light this new cluster on fire. And with any luck, the old cluster is sufficiently far that... Nope! Nope. It all burned. That was a bit too close. Oh well, I get more charcoal than I bargained for. This isn't bad exactly, just not what I wanted. Notice that they cut nicely without leaving a stump. Unfortunately, they cut nicely without leaving acorns. Or pine cones. But pine cones are a dime a dozen. Clearly I have enough to start over. It's not a big deal. In fact, let's go ahead and start over now before it gets too dark. Nice clustered glade worth. Go pick up some more of that, And they did still drop some acorns apparently, which is nice. I didn't realize they did that. I thought that if it burns in a fire, it burns the acorns. In fact, this actually works out to my advantage, although I really did want to get some more logging in pretty soon. Let's go ahead and make sure it's distant enough this time. And cut stone was it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put up a couple crock pots. And now I can simultaneously make multiple copies of good recipes when I happen to have all the resources necessary. Very rarely will I have more than 12 of something with no means of waiting or storing it for later. And of course, you can leave something in a crock pot virtually forever without harvesting it and it won't go bad, so many options. So we got 1 honey in each pot for when I eventually make more honey of some kind, honey recipe of some kind or the other. It doesn't matter how close to spoiled it is as long as it's not rotten. Let's grab 1 more rabbit. Notice the traps deteriorate every time I pull a rabbit from them. It's not a huge deal unless you don't have very many traps overall. Oh, that's not the pot we were using. There we go. Cook that sucker. It's pretty close to nightfall, so let's throw something on the fire. I should probably ditch this low-powered spear by base since I don't use it anymore. If I ever should find myself in desperate need of a weapon that might prove to be very, very helpful, that I didn't take it. We're just going to drop a full-out tuft of grass on it just to light it faster now. And we'll start our grass field here. Now notice that the grass fields haven't grown at all, even though the saplings have replanted several times. when you uproot a grass field, you have to fertilize it special, using manure or using rotten food. Of course, I don't generally let food get to the point of being rotten unless I'm doing it very intentionally, so manure it is. Okay, and we've made good use of all of that honey we accumulated during the bee run to bring ourselves back to nearly full health. We survived a wolf attack, we've survived a lot of things. Things are going pretty well, and it is a brand new day, so we will call it a quits here. Thank you guys for watching, I will see you guys next time.